we've always thought that there might be a time that we wouldn't be in the UFC business anymore, just because, the rights fees might become astronomical. So we've always kept our eyes open. We wanted to continue to be in the UFC business as long as we could. It's clearly a good business for us. I think when, if you look back at Tough 10, the Kimbo year when the ratings kind of skyrocketed, and that was a moment where we thought, like, this is good news and bad news, because the good news is we'd love to have these ratings all the time. The bad news is it's not likely that it's going to repeat at that level anytime soon, because it was kind of an anomaly. And the other part of the bad news is it's just going to raise the price again. So that's the way the business runs. It's nobody's fault. But I think at that point we were kind of thinking, like, what, we better have a plan B. Plan B being Bellator.
How hard did you really try to keep the UFC around? I mean, were you resigned to losing them after Tough 10, honestly?
No. I mean, there was a period of time that there was a pretty healthy negotiation going on. I think that it just got to a point where we looked at it and thought, like, if we're going to pay that much money and we're going to continue down this path, and without owning a piece of it or being able to profit on the back end, we gotta rethink that. So look, there's no question that if we could have come to the right deal, we would have tried to figure out how to stay in business. We love those guys; they've been great partners to us.
Sure. One of the things that, at least to me, seems to be such a critical part of the relationship with the UFC over these 7 years has been kind of the all hands on board assault that sometimes can happen on the viewer of UFC content. I mean, these marathons that you guys have done over the years, on these weekend mornings where I picture Joe Sixpack just kind of flipping through the channels and then getting caught on this ride of UFC fights for 6 hours. I mean, that is just so pivotal to building an understanding of the sport. And I think for all the attention the live specials and Tough has gotten over the years, those taped fights, those archived fights, those marathon sessions, I'm sure, have done quite a bit to build awareness, at any time of the week when you guys are running those shows with average folks. Is there a similar idea for Bellator, Kevin, where we're going to see Unleashed style stuff from the archives? Because as you've said in some other interviews, it turns out that the value of that kind of taped stuff kind of diminishes over time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that is actually true, that, you can run it too much, and the core audience has seen it over and over and over again, and they love seeing it, but it does diminish in value and ratings over time. The good news about Bellator is we've got, 59 fights that really have not been that exposed, and we will repackage them, and it will be new library product, and we'll use it to build stars in the same way that we used Unleashed and all the other UFC vehicles to help build their stars. We'll do the same thing with Bellator, and that library will diminish over time. But I think the most important thing is the first couple of years, where you're really using library to build stars and create fighters that people want to see and want to come back to.